Cool. So, on to speaker number 2. And we've got Marlene Dragonweaver, or UmanRa. I like that, UmanRa. So, a starseed, a blueprint connector. What's that mean? A wayshower, a dragon rider, a soul guide, a healer, a martial artist. I wonder which martial art that is. A creator, a spiritual alchemist, and a dreamer. Wow. So Marlene's a dragon rider of the white mother dragon monad, fully merged with her dragon Uman and twin flame of UmanRa, who are guardians to Gaia's heart and were dragon samurai protectors of the dragon teams that created Gaia. Wow. And she's here. She's going to talk about the blueprinters. Who are they? And how they are linked to the white mother dragon monad. Hello, Marlene. Welcome. I'm excited.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much. I'm obviously this is my first foray into having giving a talk, so was a little bit nervous, but I'll hopefully I won't make too much of a fool of myself.
You'll be amazing. We can see that.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. It's taken me a while to get used to that part of my experience because I've started remembering who I be, and it's been an interesting journey, especially this last year, because I completed a course with AmunRa, who you had as a talker during your summit, and I must thank you for that. That was the fact that you are hosting this is just incredible. And I think dragons are coming back so phenomenally into the human consciousness at the moment. It's actually quite important that that this is a platform. And thank you so much for hosting that. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to talk just a little bit more about myself. As a matter of fact, this is my origin story. So because of the work I'm moving into, and this is all really very new for me, I started this about a year and a bit ago when the concept landed for my moving out of healing and moving towards working with Gaia, doing grid work. So I'll explain about that later, but I need to give this background and introduction because no one knows who I am, first of all. And secondly, it's kind of important that the type of work I'm doing now is going to be touching a whole lot of people in the near future. I've actually just had a week of incredible reconnection with dragons and riders of a very specific type. So I will distinguish from what Virginia just talked about. So I'll add on to that and give a more specific examples of specifically who I'm talking about. So I need to talk about who I am, where I'm from, and who I'm a part of, because I'm not here alone, and I'm a part of a huge team. I'm simply one of the ones that have got feet on the ground. So I met my dragon a whole number of years ago. I've been on this journey for a long time, but I never knew where I was going with my dragon. And I do healing treatments, so I was standing waiting to go into the healing treatment room. The one day my dragon said, "You're not using me properly. We are one." And I was like, "I feel you separately, but we are one." It was a little bit confusing for me. So this has been something that's been in my mind. It's like, how do you explain that? I know I'm not the dragon. I don't feel that I'm the dragon, but we are one. So what does that mean? So when I came across Raya and she explained it extremely well in one of her talks, it just like resonated with me. So this is kind of half the story and not really, because the way that Virginia explained a dragon rider is that it's a separate soul. What I'm experiencing and what most of the dragon riders I'm calling them dragon riders, but they are actually slightly different from being a separate being. And I'll go into that just now. She explained that you get dragon keepers and you get what she calls dragon hawk. So that's a full dragon. It's a dragon that is choosing to embody as a human or a lion so a dragon can choose where they embody if they need to. So this is another thing. Why is it just to have an experience, or have you got a job to do? And I explained a little bit about the dragons that I work with on Gaia, because I've been here for a very long time. So this is not my first party. I was a dragon samurai. And when I first came across the term, it's like, this sounds really familiar, because I've been a warrior in so many lives on Earth, and not just on Earth, but in other worlds, other planets. And I could spontaneously remember those. So I've always had these experiences where I had all these characters floating around in my head, and I didn't really know what it meant until I came across reincarnation. I had no clue. So when I remembered reincarnation, discovered reincarnation, it's like kind of all fell into place. Ah, that's what that is. That's why I just know things. Okay, so dragon samurai. What does that mean? A dragon samurai was a force, part of a force, a very special force that protected the dragons that created the earth in three-dimensional space. So I was part of that team that protected the dragon, the created dragon. So everything I'm going to be talking about tonight is a small part of the whole. There are so many dragons. There are so many beings that are doing amazing and phenomenal things as starseeds, as certain types of beings that are in physical body at the moment on this planet. And there's a reason for that, because this is a very special period in our planet's history and development. And the whole ascension process is in a very specific phase at the moment. So that's why I'm talking about blueprint. So let's talk a little bit about blueprint. What is a blueprint? When I had my soul reading from an Akashic record reader who happened to be a friend, we did an exchange. She called me a blueprint changer, and I had no idea what that meant. So we kind of spent a time after that she gave me the reading to kind of, because I had certain memories and she had labels for those memories. So, okay, is this what it means? Okay, so blueprint changer, right. So I did some research, and at that stage I was very much at the beginning of my journey still. So what I've come across, and I've actually remembered a lot of what I'm talking about. I've also got a soul sister that's part of my oversoul. And I'll speak about oversouls and what is a monad and all of that, and link all of this together during this talk. I've got a soul sister who's a medium and a channeler, and we have done a lot of work with our own personal oversoul to find out who we are, the eternal question: where am I from, and who am I? So we have discovered some really interesting things, and it's been quite an eye-opener for us, because we're not talking tiddlywinks here. These are big concepts and big ideas that we're talking about. So it actually took me quite a while to get used to. Firstly, I had Anubis as a guide right throughout my awakening process, and he always was helping and guiding me and popping up in weird places. And he, at some stage, came into my awareness when I had my eyes closed and I was waiting for the kettle to boil. I was making coffee. I just gotten up. And he said, we also know one another quite a lot, because I listened to another guy that says, yeah, Ra, Anubis is a good friend of mine. I'm also a good friend of yours. Okay. And then he called me Ra. And Ra? Okay. Well, 2 weeks of total overwhelm, doing research. Who is Ra? What have I got to do with Ra? It's like, so, long story short, my twin flame is Ra, AmunRa, that we know as the Egyptian god Ra. He's also been other things, as well as Anubis. So that's my twin flame. Hence, my name is the opposite. So two sides of a coin. My dragon's name is Uman. So I am known as UmanRa. That's where my name comes from that I use. Dragon Weaver, I'll explain a little bit later. So, who are the blueprinters? When Source decides to create a new realm, and I'm going to be reading this because I'm not that familiar with it, and I don't want to miss anything. The Source creator, that consciousness, then has a meeting with a council of 12, which are very high level souls that kind of serve as the primary intermediaries between Source and the rest of creation. They together define the specifics of this realm. The objectives for the soul growth in the realm, how will it manifest, how will life manifest, and they establish the various parameters for this new realm. Then the Council of 12 reaches out to souls who've been blueprinters before, and they're known as blueprinters for a specific reason, obviously, because they created. So they need to take on the role of blueprint coordinators. So the coordinators are kind of top level. So the coordinators devise the integration of this new realm within the existing multiverses, designing how it will interact and coexist with the rest of creation. So that's kind of important. Then once this framework is in place, the coordinators create detailed job descriptions for the millions of other tasks that's required in this new realm. The originators then, together with designers, the designers are selected. They're kind of the big picture creators. The originators are the structural creators of the physical realm that's going to have a physical part. The designers color and add beauty to that structure. The technicians create the technical and energetic systems of the inhabitants of the realm, their bodies and the environment, and so on. So those are the technicians. Then, once all of that is sorted out, the originators then hire other souls to be changers, translators, and deliverers. Now, these are all part of, if you get an Akashic record reading, the people that do the readings get trained in all of these. So that's where this information is from. And these are kind of what they've determined, that people who incarnate here that are blueprinters have these different roles. Those are the known ones. So translators are responsible for communication in all its forms with all the different ones. The deliverers keep everyone in the realm reminded and focused on divine love for themselves and each other. And the changes, and this is a role that I was for a long time before I actually decided to do what I'm doing now. I was a blueprint changer. So that was the title that I got in my soul reading. Changers experience the difficulties and turmoil within the realm. So they incarnate or they become like a spy. I love spy movies, and I know why. I've done this for a long time. They infiltrate. They kind of disappear into the different areas of the realm. So planets, you name it. Have a look, see is there anything can be changed. and then they make suggestions on how to adjust things, or they tweak things from the inside. So that's a blueprint changer. That was what I was doing up until, well, a couple of million years ago. Very traumatic. When you become part and you do it for long enough, and you either not incarnate, but you live as a being on that planet. So being a dragon, which is what I am at my soul level, we shapeshifting, which kind of make us, easy. You can become whatever you want to be, and whatever you need to be. So you can live as anyone in that particular realm. But if you stay there long enough, you're going to experience things, and it's usually got to do with wars, and it's usually got to do with a lot of things. So I experienced trauma, and the reason why I decided not to be a blueprint changer anymore was because I lost the plot a little bit on one of my missions, and did something that I had to pay back some karma. So that was kind of the reason why I've been incarnating on Earth since the end of Atlantis. 12,000 years of incarnation, very short in-betweens for more than one reason. So partly karmic, and partly to hold stable this particular timeline, the important timeline of this one. So that was part of my job. So very important to realize that if you choose to be a blueprinter, the soul that always has the choice, the freedom to choose whether or not to accept the blueprinter duty. And sometimes the blueprint is not always, but so there are blueprinters outside of our blood. So if we're talking about the earth realm, there are blueprinters outside as well. Some blueprinters choose to embody and to work from feet on the ground. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. And I'll talk about what I'm doing right now in this lifetime a little bit later. So let's get to the dragon rider. So I work with a very specific type of dragon rider. And here I'll explain exactly how these dragon riders at soul level look like. So when a soul, if you from your oversoul, your higher self, you have got a certain soul signature. So you're a certain type of being. So I, at my highest level, am a dragon in form. So a dragon, when a soul decides to incarnate in a body, in a physical body, in whichever realm they choose to have an experience, you fractal off from your soul. That sends out the feeler, and you then incarnate or inhabit that specific being that you choose to have an experience at. So the dragon is the only being that can fractal off again into a dragon and a rider. Same soul. So this is a very particular experience, and it's done for a very specific reason. Like, for instance, on our planet, if the dragons are portal keepers, like what I am or was. I'm not a portal keeper anymore. Technically, I'm not a portal keeper. And I'll explain that just now. The portal keeper of a very specific vortex on the body of Gaia within the grid structures is a very specific dragon. So this dragon has duty, but because of where we are developing at the moment, with the grid structure shifting from a magnetic grid structure to a crystalline structure, there's a very specific set of chakras that I specifically, my group is working with, and they call the spiritual chakras. So you have the earth chakras, there are physical chakras, and there are a number of them across the planet, and everybody's familiar with those. The guru is one of them. But they are different layers of chakras, just like we've got a mental body and a physical body, an emotional body, and a spiritual body. So does Gaia. So her spiritual chakra system is the set of chakras that I'll be working with, and that this set of specific dragon riders are working with. So there's a portal keeper dragon team. It's a dragon and a rider. And this, okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. When the dragons created Gaia, the structure, and here I'm talking about dragons as blueprinters, created. So the dragons have been holding the grids, the structural grids, the energetic structure of this planet in all the layers and all the dimensions since she was created. So because up until now we've been at third dimensional vibration, Gaia's actually already shifted into fifth dimensional density. In these dimension and densities, people have different definitions of these things. I'm just going to say dimension because everybody knows we're moving to the fifth dimension. It's a frequency. So to hold that amount of light, because of where we are at the moment in our evolution, we're in the photon belt, we're being bombarded by a lot of high frequency light at the moment. The sun is bombarding us. There's a lot of stuff happening at the moment. So our frequency is rising. Gaia's frequency is rising. And to hold that amount of light and not leave the physical body, we need to shift to crystalline structure. So that Gaia is also shifting to crystalline structure. But the dragons have been here for a very long time, have been working very hard. So it was actually decided that the grid structures are going to be taken over by the lions. So golden winged lions, lion. So to hand over the structure of God, this is a huge project. I mean, you can just imagine what's been happening. There's so many things happening on the planet at the moment, and this is one of the layers. So there are lots of other people doing different various things, and we're all stacked. So there needs to be teams to work with all these things. So I have handed over my portal, which was Table Mountain. I was linked energetically, structurally into the structure, the energetic grid structure of Table Mountain as a portal keeper. So that's as embodied in human form, the rider holds the codes for specific light codes and energetic structure for the portal. The dragon has another task. So the dragon is in spirit form and the rider is in human form to form that team. So I was standing, I'm doing a day job, standing there saying, I needed to be in Cape Town, don't know why, but I'm here. And I know I'm a portal keeper, but what does it mean? And the words I got were, you are the portal. You don't have to do anything. You are the portal. And I only understood it later when I could see it through my soul sister did a wonderful energetic attunement and upgrade for us. And I could actually, during this process, I could see my actual energetic structure totally linked into the portal structure. It's a mesh. Your energy is just part of. And when I looked at Table Mountain in Cape Town, it was my mountain. So last year in August on Lionsgate, and this is part of the project that I was moving now into, I was required to hand over the portal. Me and my dragon handed over the portal to the golden winged lion lion that was taking over the structure. So that happened on Lionsgate last year. And for 24 hours, I was actually disentangling my energetic structure from the portal structure. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my life. It was profoundly beautiful and very, very emotional for me as well. And to disentangle, it's like almost like when your child goes off to university or leaves the house, it's like far away. It's like I don't feel you anymore. And that's how I feel about Table Mountain now. It doesn't feel like my mountain anymore. I can now leave the area and not like look back in yearning. Not my mountain anymore. So this needs to happen for 12 earth chakra vortexes like this one. So they are, and let's see here. I've actually done a post in the Dragon Thunder. I'm not going to name all the portals now, but I obviously, because of my project, I needed to find all the other portal keepers. That's my task. I was the only one that was awake at this stage. I was told this that there was such a suppression of our energies due to the matrix that we live in, that we chose to come and experience, and that is being dismantled now. That all the other portal keepers were very much suppressed. They had no idea. The dragons are there, they're still doing their job. But the spiritual chakras, some of them are still closed. They're not open yet. They will only open within the next 10 years as Gaia grows into her new fifth dimensional structure. So my task is to facilitate all the handing over processes of these earth chakras from the dragon and their rider to the lyran. So I posted last week. I posted a post and I found 6 of them now already. So amazing. It's been a very emotional week for me actually. So I was going to talk about that a little bit, but I'm just going to leave it there. There are 12 fifth dimensional spiritual chakras, earth chakras. They are spread all across the planet. The whole of South Africa is the solar plexus. So Table Mountain was the focal point, and the whole of South Africa is the solar plexus chakra. So we are very closely linked, obviously, to Uluru in Australia, being the physical. So there's like a whole thing. That's another topic or another talk, probably. So, what is a monad? When you talk about an oversoul, what is a monad? So, within your oversoul, there are 12 souls, 6 pairs of twin souls. And I must just say here that a dragon and a rider, like how I work with these particular dragons, it's like having a twin flame because you're the same soul. That's why being one is such a thing. It is just, we are one. And then you still have a twin flame. So there's like this triangle going on. And it's a very weird configuration, but there's a reason for that due to what we do. So normally in an oversoul, there are 6 pairs of twin flames, 12 souls in an oversoul. Then there are 12 oversouls in a monad. So there's a group of 12 oversouls, and that forms the monad. So our particular monad is the primordial white mother dragon. So when Source decided to create the Earth realm, first was created a duality, a primordial mother dragon and primordial father dragon. White, black. So my monad is part of the white mother dragon. She holds our monad. So that's the top structure of where I'm from. And this is the original blueprinted team that created this realm. This particular Earth experiment, this is the monad that created it. So we've been at this for a very long time. We've actually, me and my soul sister, we've met last year for the first time, and suddenly we're doing this amazing work together. So we've dived into exactly what is the structure of this, because we needed to understand what is this that we're working, why are we having these remembrances, what are we supposed to be doing? And I'm supposed to be doing all this work within this business project. What is it about? So the white mother dragon, and she's not the only one. There are lots of mother dragons. This is just my particular monad, and she was created for a very specific reason. And I think, yeah, so there's white dragon, black dragon, doesn't necessarily mean it's light and dark, but not good and evil. That's not how it needs to be perceived. We call them dragons in that form, but they're more. It's a very moldable. It's just kind of, they look like and feel like a dragon's more feel than what it is look. So if I speak about a primordial dragon, what it is. But there's an overlay. There's archangel energy and phoenix energy within this form. So there's a triad thing. So with the white mother dragon and with the black father dragon as well. So I'm just going to focus obviously on the white mother dragon, because that's my monad. My oversoul is one of the first 12 oversouls that was created for this realm. So the white mother dragon gave me a beautiful image, showing me how she created the monads. 6 eggs with 2 twin souls in each of the eggs in a basket. It was such a beautiful image. And then she created all the other oversouls. So 12 baskets full of 6 eggs each. It was a beautiful visual she gave me. So, and then she created all the other monads to support this one. So there's a soul group that is supporting this whole blueprinted tree, if I can call them that. And a soul group consists of 144,000 monads. It's a huge group. There's a lot of work to be done when you create a realm. So 144,000 times 144 is 20,736,000 souls. So just to give you a little bit of perspective, what goes into creating a realm. So each oversoul in our specific monad has a specific structure. So there's an overseeing archangel aspect. So the archangels is not individual beings. Each archangel is an aspect of source, if you can see it like that. Matthias Stefano explained that very, very well. It's an aspect. It's not an individual being. So when you talk about archangels, it's like kind of one level just below source. It's source divided into 12 aspects. So we're working with 12 archangels. So each of our oversouls in this monad has got an overseeing archangel. So the overseeing, the archangel energy that is linked with each of the oversouls. My particular oversoul has got Archangel Gabriel, and I'm working with Michelle Magic Medium, she's my soul sister. She's an aspect of Archangel Gabriel. So she's an archangel in human form. And she's got a very specific task to do as well. So there's 6 pairs of twin flame, one embodied in physical form at the moment, human form because we're on Earth, and one in spiritual form. There's a project leader, there's an archangel that's embodied, there's a portal keeper, a dragon and a rider, there's a technical scientist, we haven't found the right terminology for that particular soul yet, there's a timekeeper, and there's a record keeper. So that's basically, we figured this out literally yesterday because we've been asking. We had bits and pieces of it. So my particular oversoul, the project leader is Commander Ashtar. I've been working with Commander Ashtar for a long time. We've done some interesting work together. And when I talk about Commander Ashtar, I know there's talk of being an imposter and the matrix that we live in is an inversion of the reality. So there's always going to be an imposter. There's an imposter of Anubis. There's an imposter of Commander Ashtar. So you've got to discern whether you're working with a being of light, always. So when you're working with someone and you are channeling someone or you are communicating with someone, you always have to check, is this a light being that you're working with? And I'm bringing this up because I've come across some interesting things and I've asked Commander Ashtar, this definitely not you. He said, no, that's not me. That's an imposter. So he is a real being and he is the project leader for our particular oversoul. Then there is my dragon and me form a team, and our twin soul is AmunRa, or Ra, the sun god. Sun god, meaning he's not a sun dragon. He creates sun and solar dragon. That is who Ra really is. So, just to give you an idea, dragons are incredible beings. My soul sister, Michelle Magic Medium, is the archangel. Then our record keeper is Anubis in spirit. And we still need to determine who the specifics are of our particular oversoul. So Commander Ashtar just told us that we don't know yet who the human forms are of these particular spirit forms, because they're not ready to reveal it. So that this is an unfolding story for us. So at the moment, I am a blueprint connector. A blueprint connector. I've always seen myself as the word soul nexus thing, a nexus, and like linking different people. So now it resonates because blueprint connector is a type of technician. And so I'm connecting things and seeing that I've created portals as a portal keeper, as a portal dragon. I've been creating portals for a long time. So it's kind of makes sense that portals connecting. So that will make sense. So each of us always also has our own soul group to assist us, and these can be part of within the rest of the monad. The soul, the oversouls, the other 11 oversouls. So they each have specific archangel energies and things. So our particular soul grouping, our particular oversoul, our oversoul was one of the first ones that worked with developing humanity, seeding humanity, working with humanity. and that was Africa. So the original experiment base in Africa was called Pretoria. So that's where we first worked. So our particular oversoul has got connections in Africa, which is why I'm in Africa. So I'm working with the portal that's related to that, and that's why I'm with the solar plexus in South Africa at the moment, because that's where my oversoul stems from. So now I had to disentangle because I now need to travel to all these other portals as well and do what I need to do. So it's been an interesting journey for me to kind of, I mean, this is a mouthful. I'm starting to get used to saying these things now. And actually, your Commander Asta told me, yes, you volunteered for this. I'm here, I'm doing it. And it's challenging. So other souls in this monad are related to other areas, obviously. So each of the spiritual chakras is in a different area, and there are dragons holding the tectonic plates. So Way AmunRa is one of the dragons that holds her dragon that she is holds one of the tectonic plates. They are known as the Council of Moon. So she is the one that chose to be awake to waken up all the other dragons. And that's where I met her the first time, is when she came and woke up the Africa dragon, or the black female dragon that lies over the continent of Africa. It's a beautiful dragon. She's so beautiful. Raya is a powerful dragon. She's the female water dragon. So they come in pairs as well. So there's lots to explore from this, obviously. So I'll obviously do more talks. So this is the Gridwit project that have to do has a couple of levels to it. So I'll be working with helping well, first of all, I'm helping to connect all the portal keeper dragons to the dragon riders at the moment. And this has been so amazing for me. This whole week, I have now connected 6 of them. I've also found a Lyran that's part dragon, but she's more lion than she is dragon. So and then we determined, but she's the new portal keeper. So that will make sense, because I mean, they also going to have an embodiment if they're holding the codes for the portal that they're taking over. So Table Mountain portal, the embodiment of the golden lion that I handed over to was the white lions. The white lions in South Africa hold the energies of the portal yet. So those I went to Paul. I found the white lion in Paul, which is down the road here from me, in a sanctuary. And we did a whole ceremony and created a connecting grid there. It was fascinating work. And then had a chat with the lions there. There's a couple of them, but 2 of them specifically hold embodies the golden lion that I handed the portal over to. So this has got to happen in each of these areas. So once I'm now disentangled. So now I've got to connect the humans to the new frequency of this portal. Each of these vortexes vibrate to a certain frequency. So I was told when this whole thing happened that I need to create frequency music and light language. And at that stage, I didn't even know about light language. When I met Michelle, she spoke in light language, and I was like, oh, okay. I was totally unfamiliar with it. But Raya also speaks. Raya actually speaks dragon light language. So Raya is giving me the light language for this whole. She facilitates that. I then put frequency music to that, which is what I did for the handover as well. And this becomes an attunement. So it resonates at a certain frequency, and that facilitates the attunement of our chakras to the chakra that we're working with. So our solar plexus in South Africa will be connected to the solar plexus, which is the whole of South Africa. So that's the work that I'm doing, and I'm using light codes and light language to facilitate that. So we are all also upgrading our bodies to crystalline structure, our DNA, everything. So what Michelle is facilitating is the structural change, the actual. She actually helps our bodies to get those crystalline structures. That's what she facilitates. That's a whole different story, but that's what part of what she does. And then I just do the attunement so that we can lead chakras to the actual portal. So that's my job. So to do this, I need to do what I call conscious music festivals at each of these sacred sites. So the one in South Africa is going to be happening later in this year, August, September-ish. So I'm putting together a whole lot of people to do this. I'm not the only one doing it. So it's a huge job. It's a huge thing that we're doing. So I was totally overwhelmed at the beginning. Last year was hectic for me because I needed to just wrap my mind around, just what I'm doing. And it's taken me a while, and just to do this talk tonight, I spoke to Kevin earlier and said, I haven't done anything like this before. I don't know how this is going to go down, because this is, for me, this is extremely, at the beginning, this was extremely weird. I mean, it's like, what is all this stuff? But the more that this journey has unfolded for me, I've done shamanic journey work. I've been a shaman in a whole lot of lifetimes, to balance out all the warrior lifetimes I've had. I've done some really interesting things which we will not discuss. Bad dragon stuff. Yeah, so I'll have to have pilgrimages to all these sacred sites, and all the dragon riders and all the portal keepers will have to be part of this whole journey. So I'm getting them all together. So this will be an unfolding journey on my profile, obviously, and I'll obviously post these things in Dragon Thunder group as well. So I'm not really ready to answer any questions. I will kind of do that, I think, as a separate, or either Zoom or a live chat or something. I'll organize on my own profile. So if you've got any questions, you're welcome to ask me then. Just being here tonight it's been an emotional journey for me. So thank you very much for the opportunity to share with you. And yeah, it's huge. And there's so many other people that are doing incredible things that I've discovered through doing this work and connecting with people, because this was totally out of my comfort zone. I need to organize events. I have no idea how to do this. And I realized that I actually had all the connections already. I knew people that could do certain things. And yeah, so if you feel you resonate with anything that I've said, and that you might be maybe one of these portal keeper dragon riders, I'm still looking for 3 or 4 of them. Glastonbury is one. The dragon is waiting for you. So putting it out there. Sure, yeah. Thank you very much, Kevin. I don't know if there's if 1 or 2 questions, maybe I'll see if I can waffle.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that deep information. And I think many of us it resonated with us. I was just sitting here in wonder, and I was building a picture of all those monads and all the different levels, and thinking, wow, there's huge numbers, and yeah. I'm gonna have to sit and listen again, I'm sure, because my brain's a bit like, oh, oh,
Yeah,
whoa, wow. All it was going, wow, wow.
yeah.
thank,
A lot of
thank you.
information and yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing with us, and thank you for bringing us up to date on stuff that's brand new to you. And you shared it very eloquently. It was beautiful, and I'm sure we'll
Oh,
have you on again. And
thank
you're
you.
more than welcome to share in the thunder. And if there's any assistance that you need, then stick it in the group. I'm sure there's people that will help you. It sounds like
Thank
a
you so much.
huge. It's a huge mission, isn't it? And it's
It's a huge mission. Yes.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you need
But
help.
like
You need
Commander
help.
Ashta said, you chose to come and do this. So yes, I
Yeah.
will be traveling, and I'm the
You
eternal
know you
gypsy.
can do it.
So
That's why. And I always find the dragons give you something, and you think you can just do something small, and then you don't realize with their power and their energy how big it can become. Um, I've seen that for myself, and I'm sure they'll be there to assist you. And you've got lots of
yes, I've
friends
got
here.
lots of assistance. Yeah,
Yeah, and you've
lots
got
of
friends
dragons
here.
assisting. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Lots of human
We up to
friends.
this.
And I'm sure some people will watch this on replay or something, and they're going to go, oh, well, maybe that's me. Maybe I am that dragon rider. Maybe Glastonbury's mine, or whatever it is, So if you're feeling that call, then please do get in contact with Marlene, and all of the details, all the links for every single speaker that ever talks is on the dragontalks.info site. So it's there, and everyone that's been on this call will get a copy of the videos, and it'll be on the Dragon Portal, and it'll be on YouTube, and it'll be linked in the Dragon Thunder group, so you can't miss it. And yeah, I suggest you all watch the replay of this, and really sort of once you've heard it once and it blows your brain a bit, the second time you'll listen and it'll hit home a bit more, because you're like, oh yeah, I've mapped that in my mind, and that's where I feel I was just sitting here and utter like, wow. But it also so true. My hair on my arms was going, which is
Yeah.
a truth for me. So
Truth
that,
bumps, truth bumps. Yes,
yeah,
I get
exactly.
those as well. Yeah. I'm just scrolling through the chat, and yeah, if I don't know if this chat appears in the replay, but I would like to have a. You
Yeah,
guys can contact me. I'm Marlene UmanRa on Facebook. So just search for me, but my link is probably in Dragon Thunder as well, and I'll post something on there as well, just so that you guys can link with me.
yeah. All the
So you're
links are
welcome.
all over the place, so people will be able to find you. Yeah, and what I download the chat, and I'll put it onto the Dragon portal, which everyone will have access to. It's completely free, so you can get in there, and you can download it. So I put it all there so everyone can read through it. Because sometimes it's nice to read through the comments and realize what a wonderful job Virginia, I can't say, I'm going to lose my voice. Virginia and Marlene, you've both done amazing talks tonight. Let's everyone give them lots of beautiful hearts and lots of beautiful reactions, because I think it's very brave of them to come out and talk about such deep subjects. So, either of you ladies want to say anything before we close off?
Kevin, you can say Virginia. It's fine.
Right.
It's actually the English version of my name, so.
That's fair enough. I
Mm-hmm.
think my brain's gone.
I really enjoyed your chat, by the way. Your talk was very interesting. I find it fascinating.
Thank you, Marlene.
You're both getting lots of thanks, lots of dragon hearts, and yeah, lots of hearts and lots of love. So, yeah, so thank you very much, ladies. I'll just tell you what's occurring in the future. So we've got an extra special one this month on the February the 18th. It'll be at 6 p.m. London this time. We've got Alexandra is coming in. She's cosmic fairy, and she's talking about unlocking 7 codes, uncovering the hidden dragons and water priestesses, and then working with land dragons, and all about things going on in Rome and the Vatican, and it's quite exciting. And there's also an event that she's putting on, so she's going to share that, and I'm very excited to be going to Rome, Italy in April with her to assist won't say too much now in case they they put the guards up and stop us coming in. And then after that, then we've got some slots free. So as I say, you don't have to talk for an hour. You don't have to say so as much as these beautiful ladies have. You can pop in on 30 seconds ago. I met a dragon the other day. It's green eyes and blue blah blah, and it was this. It was interesting to me. Does it resonate with anyone? I'm happy for people to come on and do short talks. So if you're interested, let me know. There are some time available on all the talks, but we've definitely got slots free in June and July at the moment. And then in July, hopefully you all know that on the 21st of July, we've got the Galactic Dragon Thunder Summit that's going to run for 24 hours. We have actually got, if someone's in Australia and they want to take over one of the speaking slots and take over the hosting slot, we've got a gap. Because one of the ladies that was doing it is leaving Australia and moving back to France, so she won't be able to do it. We've got one person that may be interested, but if anyone else is interested in taking the Australian time slot, then please let me know. We want a speaker and we want a host. There'll be a co-host. There'll be two of you hosting, and I'll be there to assist. But I might be in my pajamas, hiding behind the camera. Cool. So it's been beautiful. Thank you both, you ladies, for sharing so eloquently. And I'm sure everyone, as you can see, is sending you lots and lots of love. And I'll be posting these everywhere. It'll be tomorrow now because it's my bedtime. I need my beauty sleep. So thank you again, everyone, and see you all soon. There you go. Bye.